Hey guys, I'm here to tell you the 5 thoughts that are holding you back from achieving your goals. 5 excuses or the 5 storylines that you keep running through your head that are stopping you from achieving the goals that you want to have. Okay, so one of the things that we keep running through our head is that we cannot do this. It's one of the biggest excuses and one of the biggest storylines we keep telling ourselves when we're trying to achieve something that we actually really want. A few of the things that we might say is like, I'm not confident, or I'm not capable, and I'm not worthy. There are a few of the things that are coming through. It's all about the beliefs that we have in ourselves. And that's something that's really hard for us to kind of establish, is having belief in ourselves to do something. Especially when we've tried things before, it can be really hard to kind of have that confidence in yourself again. But what we want to do is firstly address our confidence level. A lot of us do lack a bit of confidence, and it's really hard when you're trying to do something new or trying to take a step into a different direction, into something that's unfamiliar or unknown, then it really starts to play on these thoughts of us, can I actually do this? Or am I capable enough to do this? Do I actually have all the tools and resources I need to achieve the goals that I want to achieve? And it really starts to play on our head and starts to bring us into that raw emotion of, your worthiness of yourself, or how much self-worth do you have of yourself? Do you value yourself? Do you think that you're worthy of actually achieving these goals? Do you think that you are actually able to stick to it and be consistent and actually find more love and more passion for yourself again? These are a lot of the things that I've experienced for myself. I've come a long way trying to figure out, like, what the heck am I about? Like, what am I, who am I, and being confident in who I am as a person. And it's something that holds a lot of us back from achieving our goals. Another thing that we keep telling ourselves is, I've tried this before and I failed. And that's what plays with the first one of, I can't do this. Everything in life isn't linear. We might have a set path in our head that we want to achieve it, but we know life isn't perfect, and there is going to be different things that are going to be thrown at us, and we're going to have to try and navigate around those things. So with our journey, we can't expect it to be linear. It's not going to be like A plus B equals C. Great math equation there, I know. But our life is a journey, and there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be ups and downs. But if we can see or reflect back on where we were maybe a few months ago, a few years ago, or even a few days ago, and we can see that we're slowly chipping away and making progress, we're going to have those minor setbacks. And what's really going to bring us back to it and to help that trajectory keep going up is having that confidence in ourselves that we actually can do this, and we are worthy of having those goals that we want to achieve. We really need to find that perfect fit for you as well. You see everything on social media of what other people are doing, and you try to give it a go, and it might work, but it might not as well. Everybody is different. What works for somebody else is probably not going to work for you. So you have to find that right Goldilocks approach, find that perfect one that fits right for you. And that's going to take time. It's going to take trial and error, and it's going to take some real grit to really get you through those really tough points. Component of this is having those limiting beliefs, similar to what I mentioned before about capable and confident and not worthy. These limiting beliefs that we have in our head of ourselves, this storyline that we're having, it really plays on our mindset and our brain's ability to filter in and out information about what we are actually capable of doing. If you have these negative connotations or these sort of low self-esteem thoughts in our head about what we're actually capable of, then our brain is going to search for things that are going to confirm those theories. So you have to, for me, I had to kind of fake it till I made it a little bit, telling myself, yeah, I can do this, even though sometimes I didn't think I could. But I had to keep telling myself, like, this is what I want to do, this is how I'm going to do it, and I'm confident that this is what I'm going to achieve. And then our brain will start to find things that is going to confirm that theory, and you're slowly going to find yourself improving from where you were a few days ago, a few weeks ago, a few months ago. Another thing that we keep telling ourselves is that we don't have time to do anything. We have a lot of time. We can't create more time out of any like, we can't just create it out of nowhere. But what we can do? We actually can take a step back and take take the time to actually review and analyze, like, what am I doing each day? Like, something that's really helpful for me and something that I do with my clients is doing a 24-hour journal. Setting out, like, writing down what you're doing every half an hour and seeing, like, what things take up your time in your day. And then you can actually pick out, okay, what actions are serving the goals that I want to achieve? What actions aren't serving me? And then you can try to accumulate the time that you are wasting on things that probably aren't serving you, and try to reapportion that to something else. It all comes down to what our priorities are. Like, is your health and your body, is that a priority for you? Because it should be. I mean, your body is your vehicle of doing all those things that you want to do each day. So you actually have to prioritize that. A lot of us think that we don't have time to, go to the gym or cook healthy meals or, whatever it is. But, we have to not create that time. As I said, you can't create that time. We're going to find that time within our day where we actually can prioritize our health and our fitness, because this is going to be our vehicle. This is our fuel for us to actually be able to do those other things and other commitments that we want to do. So take a look. How are you spending your time doing that 24-hour journal and figuring out what those actions are that you're doing that are actually serving you and which ones aren't, and just trying to get rid of those bad habits and those non-serving actions to create actions that are actually going to get you there. So one of the big phrases that actually helped me reframe my mindset is action before motivation. A lot of us feel unmotivated, but motivation just doesn't come out of thin air. It's not just going to magically appear one day and you're like, yes, I'm motivated to do this right now. And it's just not going to happen. So, you're just going to take that first step and take those little steps, and that's going to create the momentum for you to get that motivation. When you start feeling a little better, when you start seeing a little bit of results, that's where the motivation comes from, and that's where the drive comes from for you to continue to go that extra mile to keep achieving those goals that you want to achieve. A big thing that comes into that as well is your environment and your surroundings. Who is around you? What is around you? Are they supportive of the goals that you want to achieve? A lot of us have, friends that might look at us a bit funny if we're going to eat something healthy while we're out. And, that's not really supportive behavior. It's not supportive attitude. And, it's about finding those supportive people that are actually going to lift you up with those goals that you want to achieve. It even comes down to where you live or what you do. It's everything around us impacts the decisions we make. It impacts the actions that we take as well. So take a look at your environment, who's around you, and even what food is in your kitchen, or especially even where you live. If you've got an inspiring, beautiful beach, or all of this stuff is great with action before motivation and what is around us. But what actually we need to start with and pull it back to is, what are your goals? You have your goal, but it's this big, hairy, audacious goal. I want to lose weight, or I want to feel better, or I want to be a certain amount of body fat. Whatever that goal is, that's a really nice, big, hairy, audacious goal that we have. But what we're going to do is break it down into achievable goals, maybe each month or each quarter. And then what we can do is break those down into those daily habits or those daily actions and those little steps that we can take to create that momentum and to create that motivation to get us to where we want to be. Now, one of the big excuses or one of the big storylines that we keep telling ourselves is that I'm just waiting for the perfect time. I've got this, I've got a promotion coming up, so I've just got to do that first before I can focus on my health and fitness, or whatever my, body or nutrition goals may be. Or I'm going to be moving soon. Oh, I'm going on a holiday in a couple of weeks, so I'll just start after then. But it's all these excuses that we keep telling ourselves, they're just our ego, or that little voice in our head that's trying to keep us from feeling that failure or feeling that embarrassment if we're not going to achieve our goals. Our ego wants us to stay in that comfort zone. It doesn't really want us to venture too far outside that comfort zone, because there might be danger or there might be some sort of threats, which are really not that big of a threat. It's more so those internal threats that we kind of feel with ourselves of, not wanting to feel like a failure, not wanting to continue to feel that self-loathing or that unworthiness. And our brain is trying to protect us from that, or our ego is trying to protect us from that. So we need to recognize the excuses that we are telling ourselves, and to be am I telling myself for an excuse, or is this a justifiable reason as to why I can't do it? There's not going to be a perfect time for anything. There's always going to be stuff that comes up. Life is life. And if we're waiting for the perfect time, then we're probably going to be waiting forever. So what you want to do is think about, what step can I take right now to get me to where I want to be? Even if we have some other commitment that we're focusing on in the near future, there's always those little actions that we can start taking each day, like maybe making sure we have enough water or ensuring we have enough sleep. There's always something that we can do to take us into the trajectory of where we want to go. Doing those little bits each day, doing those habits each day. And that comes down from breaking down your big, hairy, audacious goal, breaking it down into maybe quarterly goals or monthly goals, depending on the timeline maybe that you want to give yourself for this. But all of this is a journey. It's not linear. There might be things that we do want to achieve, a certain weight or a certain look for, but there's that event's going to come and go. So what are we going to do after that? You know, what are we just gonna stop what we're doing just because that event's come and gone? No, otherwise we're just gonna slip into those same habits again. And it's just this vicious cycle or like a yo-yo diet, and we're just going up and down without any actual trajectory of going up. So what you need to do is just take a step back, have a look at what you're doing each day, and discover what is maybe wasting your time on, and what things you can afford, like, apportion that time to help you to take those little steps, to make those little actions, to have those daily habits each day that are progressively going to take you to where you want to be. You can do this. I'm confident you can do this. You're confident you can do this. If you know what I'm talking about, if you felt a lot of these things that I've just discussed with that storyline that you keep telling yourself, I want to hear about it below. Comment below and let me know if you felt any of these things before, because I want to help you feel confident, capable, to get you feeling sexy and strong, better than ever. Let's go.
Is this where we should say like and subscribe? Are we supposed to say that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like and subscribe, because I'm coming for it. I don't know what I'm saying.